Social Emotional Learning in Health and Physical Education, an Integrated Approach. Considerations of the Practical Applications of Collaboration, Part 5. Please note, this presentation has been divided into 5 sections due to its length and difficulty uploading. The short introduction will remain the same for each segment. Thank you. Hi there. Glad to join in the conversations and sharing. This will be a little different approach as I will find it difficult to tune into the collaboration schedule. I've created a slideshow presentation. This slideshow presentation is intended to act as a companion guide to my publication, Sticks and Stones, Improving Group Dynamics Through the Use of Cooperative and Leadership Games, an Integrated Approach. You should be able to conveniently listen to the presentation according to your own schedules. The slides are somewhat color-coded, which might allow you to scroll and listen to specific segments. The 5 segments of the presentation are the why and what of social emotional learning, group dynamics, communication, creating the right teaching environments and learning opportunities, and practical applications of collaboration. I hope you enjoy. Today I'll be sharing some highlights from my action research project in a 3-phase interdisciplinary strategy. A 5th grade class was coached on interpersonal skills in the classroom and reinforced that learning in a special physical education class. The objective? To reintroduce a rejected child back into the class with some measure of acceptance. This was presented at the SHAPE Conference in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, July 2019. The theme, Exploring the Mind-Body Connection, Social Emotional Learning in Health and Physical Education. Note that this action research was conducted as an extension of regular skill-based instruction and curriculum. For a free download of my work and the foundations of this presentation, please contact me through my website, crazycartwheel.com, by going to the contact page and sending me an email. Lessons and activities are included in this publication, which you may find useful. After much trial and error, and after the completion of an action research project, I've come to these conclusions. That as strong as our individual physical education programs might be, with regard to positive goal structures and lessons, there is more that is necessary at this time. The process of social emotional learning is a sequence of interdependent and linked actions, individual and group, across content areas with the intent of creating a whole that is greater than the simple sum of its parts. Through movement, we establish neuromuscular and cognitive routes to learning and create the links to social emotional learning. Through classroom collaboration, we strengthen that link. Collaboration is the key. On collaborating physical education with the classroom, sharing. I happened to chance upon a most wonderful publication that was used as formal classroom instruction for my research project. The publication aligned beautifully with Johnson & Johnson's framework regarding group dynamics. This curriculum was much broader in scope and sequence than just communication, as the title suggested. It seems in hindsight that it was written for social emotional learning. It was practical, affordable, easily maintained, with ready-to-go lessons that the children seemed to enjoy. I would like to very briefly share some highlights. The games children should play, sequential lessons for teaching communication skills in grades K through 6 by Sehack and Heron, 1980. presenting the scope and sequence from Games Children Should Play by Mary Sehack and Barbara Jackson-Heron. Games Children Should Play, Sehack and Barbara Jackson-Heron, 1980, their scope. An overview of their work and premise. Students can be taught to communicate clearly and to make conscious changes in their behaviors. That learning to listen, speak, and problem solve is as basic as learning to read, add, and punctuate a sentence. Their model was a year-long sequential plan for teaching communication skills. Their scope. The lessons were designed in graduated levels of sophistication but low readability levels throughout the units, encouraged active participation of students whose academic skills might have been lower than their interest levels. The lessons were written for immediate, practical classroom use by classroom teachers. The lessons were designed with clearly stated goals, needed few materials, and required little additional preparation. Their scope. Lessons were sequenced over 2 levels, grades K through 3 and grades 4 through 6. Instructional sessions were scheduled 2 to 3 times a week for the whole year, allowing for frequent practice, reinforcement, and modeling. And, of significant importance, included daily journal handwriting, allowing for individual reflection and engaging right and left brain activity. Additional comments. To be noted, there is a substantial difference in social development from grades K through 3. So I might propose a consideration of 3 levels, those being Level 1, grades K to 1st grade, Level 2, grades 2nd through 3rd, and Level 3, grades 4th through 5th. And of critical importance is the reinforcement and practice with classroom sessions 2 to 3 times per week for the whole year. Journal writing should be a mandatory practice, helping children put into writing their feelings, thoughts, emotions, and processes. My reflections: many treasures can be found in going back on our timeline and rediscovering critical research, looking back to the future. Games children should play. The sequence. The sequenced formal classroom instruction began with activities focused on individual reflection and journal writing, moved forward to the components of communication, sending and receiving messages in individual and partner groupings, as well as verbal and nonverbal communication activities. The progression advanced to role plays and problem solving with small groups and larger, explored the elements of becoming assertive and understanding discernment in decision-making processes. The year closed with journal reflection on their growth that year. Considerations regarding physical education collaborating with the classroom. Let's keep it simple. I've experienced many administrative attempts regarding school-wide social-emotional learning, all well-intended. The results were not very successful at many levels. What has always been a challenge regarding quality collaboration with other content areas has been non-existent consideration with regard to the dynamic nature of physical education, complicated by the overriding lack of control over our own teaching environments and schedules. When we are all sending and receiving the same message over the same approximate time frame frequently, the collaboration across all content areas will result, in a whole that is greater than the sum of its parts. So, let's keep it simple. As a disclaimer, every school, district, community is different with their needs, and the appropriate model is dependent on many factors. One model does not fit all. So, design the program to fit the needs. Understand and analyze the parameters of your cultural system. Just a thought regarding a collaborative scope. How about creating smart groupings? Physical education already understands and applies the principles of sequence learning, both informally and formally in our daily practices, as regards to skill development. By teaching sequentially with simple to complex progressions across grouped grade levels, it is possible to combine both developmentally appropriate skill instruction with social emotional learning in the physical education classroom and sync with the chosen classroom model. For example, grades K through 1 would be considered level 1, with introduction of concepts in kindergarten and reinforcement or repetition of the same material in first. This allows for children who might be newly enrolled to get in sync with the program, allowing for refinement and processing of concepts and the practical applications of these skills, as well as establishing a type of safety net for our more transient student populations. Grades 2 through 3, would be considered level 2, with introduction of concepts in second grade and reinforcement or repetition in third grade. Grades 4 and 5 would be considered level 3, again with introduction in fourth grade and reinforcement in fifth. Regarding collaborative sequencing, collaboration would require an acceptance that physical education is a dynamic environment requiring different considerations. We are educational specialists first and break people second. It might be suggested to build in flexibility into our collaborative sequencing. Possibilities to consider: establish a time frame, determine how long time-wise it would take formal classroom instruction to cover a particular lesson focus. Physical education then can build that focus into their lessons over a block of time. Consider a pilot study first. Every school, district, community is different with their needs and their culture. The appropriate model will be contingent on many factors. Design the program to fit the needs, the parameters. For sure, learning and sharing with each other what works, what doesn't, will be exciting and fun. Together we will create opportunities for many winners. And the collective creative energy generated will spiral us up. This concludes Part 5 on the considerations of the practical applications of collaboration in social-emotional learning within health and physical education, an integrated approach. In conclusion, social-emotional learning is about the mind, body, and heart connection. It's about the three factors essential for a child's success: identity, social responsibility, or relationships with others, and it's about communication. My objective today was to hopefully provide a perspective that you may not have considered, and I hope that you have found at least one thing of value in this presentation. Together we can do amazing things. Let's make this world a better place for all. So good luck, bon voyage, and thank you for this opportunity to share. Just a reminder, for a free PDF download of my work, please go to my website, crazycartwheel.com. Go to the Contact tab and message your request from there. Thank you.